Together, we're going to co-create with the universe to plan an epic year of travel. I've picked 4 amazing locations specifically to places I've never been before. I'm starting with $106.50, and I'm going to show you how we bring this all together and bring this amazing travel goal into our lives using the help of an online vision board. Hello and welcome. Danette here. Thank you for joining me on the Shine First Today podcast. If you want to be highly productive without being stressed out, then please consider subscribing so that you can be informed when we release new episodes like this one. Before we get started, I want to mention that my free mini course, Fall Asleep Fast, is now available. I will link to it in the description below. If you're having a hard time falling asleep at night because it's the first quiet moment you've had during the day, you'll want to check out this free mini course. In it, I share the tips and techniques that I use to help me fall asleep fast. How did I get started with this idea of creating an epic travel vision board? Right now, I'm going through a severe case of mortality motivation. Mortality motivation is when you just become aware that your life is limited and it makes you want to do all the things that you've been planning on doing. I heard about this term from Brendon Burchard when he spoke at a Hay House Live event in Tampa. And he talked about it in his own life, that he was in a car accident and it helped motivate him to live each day of his life with intention. And that's what he's here to do and share with all of us. I'm a huge fan. Earlier in the year, we had a terrible tragedy in our family and we lost a family member at a very young age. That has caused me to really take a look at my own life and say, what are the things that I want to get done in life while I'm still here? I have really taken that to heart and set out a number of different goals in a number of different areas in my life. I started to put together this travel vision board, and I want to share with you how we go through the process. I'm going to show you how I put mine together using an online app called Walling. A few weeks ago, I was sitting down with a client. We were talking about their retirement plans, and I said, well, where do you want to go? Where do you want to travel when this retirement happens? It's getting very close for them. They said, one of the places we want to go is Costa Rica. And I got all excited. I was like, I want to go to Costa Rica. And she says, here, look. And she shows me her phone, and she has a friend who has an Airbnb in Costa Rica. And she opens up the video and it pans around and it's this beautiful location. I was like, oh, wow, that looks amazing. Later that day, I started to think about how many places are there that it's been a long time that I've wanted to go. And I'm not getting any younger. Like I said, I have this mortality motivation thing happening. I started to make a list of all the places I wanted to go to that I haven't been to before. I have a tendency to want to go back and revisit places I've already been. There's some comfort level there in traveling somewhere that you've already been. And I noticed that about myself. I'm going out on a limb here and saying, here is a list of places that I'd like to visit that I've never been before. That's the first criteria for this epic travel vision board. And if I'm honest, first thing that started to happen as I thought of all these amazing places is, how greedy is that to want to go to all these places? Or I should save my money for my own retirement, or I should do this, or I shouldn't do that, or I shouldn't want to do that. All the things started coming into my mind, all of these doubts and worries and fears. That, wait a minute, that's my brain just trying to keep me safe, just like it keeps me going back to similar destinations. It's trying to keep me safe. It doesn't want me to go to new places that I've never been before. And it initially brought up all these doubts. I could have easily just said, oh, yeah, that's too much to imagine or too much to want to do. And I said, no, wait a minute. I'm going to make an episode on it. I'm going to actually make several episodes because today is just day one of the planning. I've done a little bit already to get ready for this, but this is the very beginning. So I want you to join me throughout the year as we see different things come together. That's what made me want to do this exercise of creating a vision board focused on epic travel. I'm not going to worry about the how at this point. I'm not going to worry about how am I going to travel to all these locations? How am I going to fit it into my schedule? How am I going to pay for it? I'm not going to worry about any of that. I'm going to focus today on showing you how to create a crystal clear vision of planning this goal. We're going to create our epic travel vision board using an online app called Walling. This is a new app to me. It's so far completely free. It is an amazing, versatile tool. In the app, you create a wall, and in each wall you have sections, and in each section you have bricks. I named the wall Epic Travel, and what's awesome is that you can copy and paste anything into your wall. You can do screen grabs, you can do links to websites, YouTube videos, pictures and text. You can make checklists. I've been using it for a little while now. Absolutely love it. It is so much fun. To make an epic travel vision board, the first thing you want to do is make a list of all the possible destinations that you will want to go to. And as you're writing down this place and that place, see how you feel energetically about the names as you write them down. When my friend talked about Costa Rica, I got so excited. That's how we want you to pick your top 3 to 5 destinations for your vision board. The places I chose for my board are the Orkney Islands in northern Scotland. This is a place that I would love to visit. I think I must have lived there in a past life. Every time I see pictures of them, I want to go there and be there. And we also liked traveling to Inverness. And so maybe I could plan a trip around visiting the Orkney Islands and going to Inverness, which is also close. Next up on my list is the Sagrada Familia Cathedral in Barcelona, Spain. This is the cathedral that is still unfinished, although they're getting close. They have been working on this cathedral for 140 years. And the videos and pictures I've seen are absolutely awe-inspiring. The amazing part is how modern it looks, considering how long they've been working on it. And I want to go there and just sit in that space for 3 days and draw and sketch and just be there in that energy. This is something I've wanted to do for a very long time, and it's going right to the top of the list. Costa Rica, as I mentioned before, is also right up there. This is a place that both my husband and I would like to visit. We have a dear friend who absolutely loves going there. We've heard nothing but wonderful things about the scenery and the nature and the people there. It just sounds amazing. So that is high up on our list. I showed the video of our friend's Airbnb to some of our family members, and they said, ooh, that sounds good to them too. So we might make this kind of a family trip, and that'll help cut down the cost of the Airbnb or wherever we end up staying. Speaking of my husband, I wanted to include him in this process. I sat with him one night and said, where are some places that you want to go that you'd like to see that we've never been before? Right away, he said the French Alps and the Mont Blanc Trail. We have both really wanted to do that for a long time, and that's going to be the 4th location that I'm going to shoot for 2024. I want to take a second to talk about Patagonia. Patagonia is the honorable mention for the travel board. It's probably going to go on the travel board for 2025. I really want to go there, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of hiking involved and I need to get my hiking legs back. I'm going to work on the hiking and getting myself back in shape before we plan a trip there. Now, why are vision boards so special? There really is no rules when creating any kind of a vision board. They just work. You just put a vision of something you want and you hold it in your imagination and you see it as if it has already happened. When you're looking at your vision board, feel that excitement of, oh, it's going to be so much fun when I go there, or when I have that thing, or when I do that experience, and you look forward to it. And as if it has already happened, you visualize yourself already doing. And that's going to help bring the event or the trip or whatever it is you want to experience, whatever goal you have, it's going to help bring into your life. Now that we have main destinations in place, it's time to start filling in some of the details to help make this vision really crystal clear. I've already alluded to it a little bit. We talked about some additional trips we can take when we visit the Orkney Islands. So let's switch now and hop over to Walling, and I'll show you how I create some of the details to go into the vision board to make it really pop out. Here we are on Walling. I'm finding this app to be so much fun. It's just walling.app. It's so versatile. There's so many different things you can put in here. You have a name of your board, a description. I've created a section for each of the trips. Here's the Orkney Islands. And then here's Costa Rica. Here is the link to a Airbnb. Here's some notes I was taking, maybe just family. Here is the French Alps. And I had started originally doing some work on Patagonia. It's so interesting to just be able to cut and paste different sources of content into this app. I used ChatGPT to plan out a trip to Patagonia, and it came up with some really interesting notes for the itinerary. So I just copied and pasted that in here. I looked at some flights. Barcelona, Spain. This is the cathedral that I want to visit. This is called a section. Then you add bricks into the section. So I am just going to click and I am going to add new image. I'm going to click this and I'm going to type in the name of the place that I want to visit. And yes, that's it. Love that one. I just pop it in and I want to do one more. This is just a blank template. There I have my images of the place I want to visit. I'm going to decrease that to 3 columns. Let's say I have some thoughts about how this trip might work. I'm going to just type in here. I just clicked new brick. Here is thoughts on this trip. Maybe I want to make a checklist. So I'm just going to click checklist and say, can we combine with another trip? The French Alps. I think it might make sense to do those 2 trips together. Let's see. Ask friends who've traveled here what they think and what their tips are. And then all your thoughts can just hang out here. If you have extra space, you just delete that. You can add more text. You can embed a URL. That's how this is going to get started. I'm going to go once a week and build on this digital vision board and make these trips all happen in 2024. So now just a quick minute on how am I going to pay for all this? I want to have this be as much fun as possible, as stress-free as possible. Have this little savings account that I don't really do anything with. It's just an open account that's hanging out. It has $106.50 in it, so I'm going to start there. I'm going to budget about $400 a month. And I'm also going to use all of my travel miles, all of my rewards points from the different shopping and things that I do. I do a lot of business travel as it is for my work, so I accumulate airline miles and things like that. So I'm going to dedicate all of those perks towards funding this epic travel goal. And I'm also going to dedicate a portion of any found money. If I get some money that I wasn't expecting, I'll put some of that towards this goal too. That's why I think it's going to be fun to check in over the course of the next year and see where the sources of funds come to pay for this trip. The other main commitment I'm going to make for achieving this goal is the time per day. Right now, I have a lot going on in life with family and work. I don't have a ton of time to dedicate to achieving this epic travel goal. I'm going to spend an hour a week on Saturday mornings. I hope that's given you some great ideas for creating your own online vision board. In our last episode, we talked about setting micro goals and how effective they are in creating habits. I'll link to it here. I hope you enjoyed this episode and thank you for joining us. I'm sending you light and love, and I hope the rest of your day is amazing.